Hello and welcome to today's video. We are drawing another beautiful person, and this one gets a little bit wild. First, we start with drawing out the character. I did some planning out on what I was going to draw in my sketchbook, then I brought it onto my iPad to fix it all up. As you can probably see, I started drawing it, but ended up erasing the whole thing. I added a grid to my paper and to my iPad to help me have a better time with the placement of it all. And I finally got the sketch looking good. And now it's onto those outlines. I used a brown outliner for the head and the body. I did this in my last drawing and I think it worked out pretty well. I used a grey outliner for the blob things that are floating out of and around the head and body. Nice. Time to add some color to this baby. And I have some exciting news. I got new markers. No longer will I have my dry markers holding me back. Also, a new selection of colors to choose from. The markers came in this container looking great as ever. Honestly, they were in a kind of weird order and the numbers were all over the place. As in facing all sorts of different ways. So I'm gonna quickly fix that. And while we're at it, I'm just gonna organize them in number order. When I put them back in the box, I put the numbers going back and forth, which looks like this. Before moving them, so the numbers go left to right in each row, which looks like this. Okay, it's finally time to use these bad boys, and ooh, are they nice and juicy. I did make a swatch sheet for these markers as well as some swatch cards, which I didn't film at all. Y'all got to see me make my last marker swatch sheet, so I didn't think you needed another one. Although the swatch sheets or swatch sheets I made, I have since abandoned. I have made a new one that has all the colors on the one paper, as well as making a swatch sheet for my pencils. And I'm currently in the process of making swatch cards for my pencils as well. I really hope you enjoy the drawing creation process more than the swatch sheet creation process, because apparently y'all are missing out on that. Having markers that aren't dry makes this drawing look so good. Now, moving on to the pencils. I started off colouring the whites of the eyes. Next, colouring those inner red bits. Then finishing them off with the blue of the eyes. Moving downwards, I added shading and other stuff to the green lips. Now we can colour the purple skin. I used blue violet for the deepest of shadows, violet for the shadows, mulberry for the mid-tones, processed red for the lighter tones, hot pink for the even lighter tones, and finishing it off with the lemon yellow for the highlights. For the funky looking clothes, I started off with the dark blue part, making sure that looks nice and good before moving on to the green collar. And yes, it is the same color as the lips. That's some good spotting of yours. Now, time for the bow. I first worked on the pink part of it, then I quickly colored in the blue before finally working on the yellow. Quickly adding in some white highlights and the pencils are looking good. We aren't quite done with them, however. Time to colour those floating blob things. I thought it was a fun idea to have them coming out of the detached head and body. I think I did a good job with the placement of them. They look like the head and body are the origins, and the more they go out, the more spacious and small they are. It looks very appealing to look at. One of the final steps is to fix up the line work. And of course, my camera did not capture much of it because it fell down whilst I was outlining the head. Oh, I finally noticed and fixed the camera, but it's a little bit too late for that. I used my brown pencil to do the outlines of the person. And for the blob things, I ended up using a black. I did try to use a grey, but it didn't look too good. It looked very washed out. The black just gave it that boldness it was needing. And finally, we can add the signature and call this drawing finished. This drawing is definitely another one that really excites me. Having the floating head with the blob things escaping out of it, the face being all sorts of weird and wavy, I love it. Such a good idea. And the colours I use just work so well together. Overall, I am very proud of this one. I hope you also like how this drawing turned out. Give this video a like if you did, and subscribe so you can see future things that I create. I hope to see you next time. Bye!